Hi, this is Ms. Hottie. I'm here to help you understand the sourcing points for the AP World History Modern exam for the year 2020. Usually teachers will use an acronym to help you, or a mnemonic to help you remember how to do sourcing. They'll use PHIA or HAPPY or HAP. These letters stand for something. So the P stands for analyzing the purpose of the document and how that affects the document. Or H, historical situation, which is a little bit narrower than historical context, but can be historical context. The I is intended audience, and the A is the author's point of view. And you'll see different variations of this. That's fine, whatever it takes for you to remember that you're going to need to be looking at the document's point of view, purpose, historical situation, and or audience. Now, just a moment before we delve in to what these examples might look like on your essay, I want you to know that when you're writing your essay, the whole point is to answer the question. And so what you're doing is you're looking at the different documents. On the 2020 exam, there will be 5 documents, and you're like, oh, these 2 documents help me answer it in this one way, and these 3 help me answer it in a different way. So then what you need to do is in the body paragraphs, after you've made your thesis, so the introduction would be a thesis, grouping sentences, potentially historical context, but you don't have to have it there. And then you would have your body paragraph. In your body paragraph, you have a topic sentence that's connected to the first part of your argument. And then you need to talk about each document separately, but connecting the documents to say, hey, look, they both prove my point. So let's say you're proving that someone committed murder, right? You really need to prove that they committed murder. So you're going to say, oh, well, look at this bloody glove, and then look at this, I don't know, note that says I'm going to murder this person. So you're going to first talk about the bloody glove, and then make sure not only do you describe what it says, if it was a document, if it was document 1, describe what it says accurately, but then say this proves that the murder happened in this way. This person was the murderer. Okay, so first you're going to use the document and then argue with it, which is to connect it back to your thesis. So I would spend at least a sentence explaining it accurately. You could paraphrase, you could pull out a word or two to use as evidence that it does answer the question, connects to the question. And then I would really make sure that the person grading your essay, the reader, understands that you see that there's a connection between that and your argument. So first use a document and then argue with it. Then in that body paragraph, if you have time and you feel confident, you're going to use one of these ways, PHIA or HAPPY, PHIA, to talk about the limitations of the document or what might be influencing the document. That's not to prove your point. You're not doing that to argue. You've already argued. That's separate. So the sourcing is just another way of analyzing the evidence to say, well, this evidence might be affected by this or that. We can't just say someone is biased. We can't just say someone is racist. We can't say someone is a certain way. We have to explain why and how we see it in the document or how it affects the document. That second part is really important. So what I've done is I went to the 2018 DBQ that happened just last year. 2018 DBQ, which happened 2 years ago, which you guys wrote about. You should have written about it, one of our first DBQs. And I just looked through the student sample essays, which I've been telling you guys to do for a while now. And here what they have is examples of what might count for sourcing. And I know that you guys look at the videos I make for you, so you've probably looked at this already, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice to just have the different types of sourcing with examples? And so I basically looked at all the different documents from the 2018 DBQ, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this in the purpose box, put this in. And so what you are going to have access to is this document here, where I show you how you could source for purpose. Now on the left-hand side, and you wouldn't have to say, put document 2 in parentheses right before, you could say in document 2 it shows, or put document 2 after when you're citing it on the AP test. But it has like a real sentence that does this. You need to do this in a couple of sentences or a sentence. And then on the right-hand side are from the 2018, student sample essays, other possibilities, but these aren't flushed out, which means these aren't written in nice sentences. You would have to elaborate and really build to make it clear that the purpose of the document is affecting the document. Now, you only have to do one of these parts. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do purpose and historical situation and intended audience and author's point of view. But sometimes, especially with audience, it's really important you could do both. You could do purpose and audience. For example, if someone's writing to a group of Republicans, they might try to appeal to Republican values, and you could say we can see that here and here. They're writing to Democrats, they might try to appeal to Democrat values, so the audience might influence the document. Always follow up with how do you see it influence the document. So let's say in each body paragraph you do that a couple times, twice. You only need to get it right twice on the AP test. So if you did it twice in the first body paragraph, let's say you even had like a mediocre essay and you did only had like an intro, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Even if you did it twice in each body paragraph, you'd have done it 4 times. And if you get it wrong once or twice, that's okay because you only have to get it right twice. So I really want you to study the examples, the full examples of how you can argue this, and then think about, could you make sentences? Now, I know you aren't familiar with the documents necessarily right now, but you did do this DBQ in the past, and some of you watching this video might have never done this DBQ. But you can still get a sense of how you could take what the audience is and apply it, or how you could take the historical situation and apply it to explaining why the document is the way that it is.